Good fight. Yeah, good fight.
Who wins?
Me.
How?
Too quick, too strong, can't lean on me, can't throw me about, and I'm explosive. I can knock people out. I knock a lot of people out.
Early rounds?
No, I won't be early. He's a good fighter. But I'll be there. I'll be there, 100%.
Combat sports all day.
Who would you back to win, Tyson or AJ?
Well, you know, I know Tyson Fury, and I think he's been a great champ, so my money's on him.
Finally, 3 boxing dinner guests of all time. Who are you picking?
Tyson Fury is one of them because he's like a stand-up comedian. He's so funny. Who else? I'd have Bud Crawford, the winner of tonight's event. And who else coming up? Roberto Duran.
You know, I keep saying 2 weeks, but 2 weeks. You know, we're on the verge now of getting this fight done. We want to make sure the ink is dry, and then we'll go out and finalise the site details. But I don't want to say too much. I think people are bored of me in general, but definitely bored of me of saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So, like I said, I'm going to keep quiet for now, which probably won't last.
Anthony Joshua has cranked up the pressure on Tyson Fury, unleashing a cold, calculated warning that signals the polite diplomacy of the past is over. The former unified heavyweight champion isn't simply waiting for his shot anymore, he's demanding it. Joshua has vowed to knock Fury out cold, no debates.
For you, I'm waiting for you.
Go on, I'll get the fucking job done.
No, you won't. Yeah. Either way, I'm waiting for you.
I'm gonna get the job done.
Either way,
he's waiting for you.
I'll get it done first and I'll fight in there.
Yeah.
When you gonna put it on? What day?
In the first or the second quarter of 25. Okay, AJ waiting for you and the world waiting for you.
Good, can't wait.
This can't wait.
No decisions, just a definitive ending. This wasn't social media noise or chest-thumping bravado. It was a chilling promise from a man preparing to end Fury's reign with one devastating punch. While Joshua sharpens his message, Tyson Fury continues his familiar routine, grand speeches about destiny, legacy, and eras. Fury paints himself as the chosen one, the king of the division, a figure destined to...
Champion, I'm a champion, and it's going to be one of the fights for the ages, you know. Someone told me the other day, it's been 24 years since we had a last undisputed world heavyweight champion. Now, we know that the both Klitschko's was champions for around about 10 years, so there's been another 14 years where all the heavyweights couldn't do it. So we've been chosen, and I believe we're both destined to be here, to be in this big fight in Saudi Arabia, the Ring of Fire. And there's only one winner, and I'm destined to become the undisputed
rule. Joshua isn't buying any of it. To him, Fury's talk is nothing more than smoke and mirrors. Fury may speak of fate and royalty, but Joshua is focused purely on results. His message is brutally clear. Fury can write poetry about his legacy all he likes, but one clean right hand from Joshua...
A lot of power still. His punch resistance may be shot to pieces, but you know, Fury's not too far behind him, I don't think. They're both ready to go. So it's a question of who lands first. And Fury's always been quite smart, quite clever in terms of his boxing sort of prowess and ability. So you would expect Fury to maybe nick.
Joshua will erase the fairy tale in an instant. Boxing analyst Duke McKenzie weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Joshua's frightening knockout power but raising questions about his durability under pressure. Could Fury exploit that vulnerability with his awkward style and unmatched survival instincts? McKenzie admits that Fury has the tools to frustrate Joshua, maybe even steal a decision, but he also concedes a harsh reality.
To me, it's so close and it's so subjective. And that's what I said. I think in regards to saying, I'm technically better, I don't think Spencer meant that Anthony Joshua is technically a better boxer than Tyson Fury, because
when Joshua lets those heavy hands go, everything changes. Cleverness and craft can only go so far against a sledgehammer. If Joshua lands first, McKenzie believes the debate will be over in seconds. Historically, the heavyweight division has always bowed to raw power, and few in history have carried the kind of fight-ending explosiveness that Joshua possesses. Johnny Nelson added another layer to the conversation, pointing out that Joshua is more than just a knockout artist. Technically,
I always thought Anthony Joshua would stop Tyson Fury, but I can't keep making that statement. I just think AJ's last performance, I still can't get my head around that Daniel Dubois beat him. Just walked right through him. And I just think if AJ would have met Daniel Dubois head on, he's better in every department.
Nelson believes Joshua is the sharper fighter. Fury has long relied on his size, reach, and unorthodox movement. But Joshua's fundamentals, his crisp jab, compact guard, and tight discipline combinations are superior. This combination of skill and power makes Joshua uniquely dangerous. His promise to knock Fury out isn't reckless aggression, it's a calculated plan backed by refined technique. When skill meets power, Nelson says, the odds tipped firmly in Joshua's favor. Former world champion Tony Bellew didn't hold back either. He argued that Joshua has all the tools needed to dismantle Fury, pointing to Daniel Dubois' success against the Gypsy King as proof that Fury is far from invincible. If Dubois, still a developing fighter, could march forward and hurt Fury, imagine what Joshua could do with his superior.
He's a challenger, huh? Yeah, but you can't say that. This is the first time he's headlining a show. I'm here, I'm the champion. I told you, I'm the land.
Superior speed, precision, and devastating punching power. Bellew described a Joshua versus Fury fight as a storm waiting to happen. One clean right hand, he said, and Fury's mythical reign will be shattered, leaving him flat on the canvas. Joshua's tone throughout this build-up has been icy and businesslike. There are no theatrics, no trash talk for show, just cold authority. When Joshua calls himself the landlord of the heavyweight division, it isn't a catchy slogan, it's a declaration of dominance. For years, Joshua has filled stadiums, carried British boxing on his back, and proven himself as a global superstar. Fury might call himself a king, but Joshua sees him differently. A tenant in Joshua's house, and as AJ puts it, rent day is coming. Carl Froch offered his trademark blunt assessment. He questioned whether hardcore purists truly care if the fight never happens, but admitted one thing: if Joshua and Fury were announced tomorrow, Wembley would sell out instantly. The reason? Joshua brings danger and drama every time he steps.
If he fights Anthony Joshua, that will be the one that people want to see. That will probably still fill Wembley, but as a boxing purist and as a lover of the sport, am I that bothered if Tyson Fury never steps in the ring with Anthony Joshua? I'll be honest, no.
His career has been filled with knockdowns and comebacks, moments of vulnerability that make him thrilling to watch. Fans don't want a flawless, untouchable champion. They crave unpredictability and chaos. Joshua delivers both. For Froch, Joshua's past defeats don't weaken him. They highlight his resilience. Every time he's been knocked down, he's gotten back up and brought the fire again. Fury may rely on clever words, but Joshua guarantees action, and action sells. Promoter Eddie Hearn, Joshua's longtime ally, cut through the noise with brutal honesty. He described Fury as a riddle wrapped in excuses, unpredictable to the point that even his own camp doesn't know what he'll do next. Maybe he's sulking, maybe he's stalling, or maybe he's just playing another mind game. Joshua, by contrast, thrives on structure and preparation. While Fury leans into chaos, Joshua lives by discipline. Hearn emphasized that while Fury plays games outside the ring,
can't ever guess what Tyson Fury's thinking or what his plan is, you know, and it's really, you just got no, like, you can't choose confidently what he's going to do. Maybe he's had enough, maybe he's got the ump, maybe it's a game. You just got to worry about yourself, and you know, for us, AJ's probably a couple of weeks away from going back into camp. And then, you know, in a couple of weeks, maybe we'll reach out to Frank and Spencer and say, look, we're going to make our next move. Do you want to speak to Tyson and see, make sure it's 100?
Discipline always wins inside the ropes. Joshua isn't sitting around waiting for Fury to decide whether he feels like fighting. He's already deep into preparation, sharpening his tools and staying ready so that when the call finally comes, he can deliver on his chilling promise to end Tyson Fury's reign with a single brutal knockout. As the rivalry intensifies, one truth has become undeniable. Fury may talk of eras and destiny, but Joshua speaks with his fists, and when fists speak, there is no debate. Sky Sports veteran Adam Smith adds balance to the heated debate, refusing to view Anthony Joshua as a man nearing the end of his career. Fighters of Joshua's caliber don't just fade into the shadows, they keep pushing forward until their legacy is etched in stone. Smith believes the Tyson Fury fight is very much alive, and he goes a step further, boldly.
It's been a phenomenal career. He's not just going to slip away into the sunset, I don't think. So I think if that fight, which I think is very much still there to be made this year,
naming Joshua as the favorite. Why? Because Joshua's entire career has been defined by resilience. He's faced crushing setbacks, been knocked down, and even dethroned. Yet every time he's returned hungrier, sharper, and more determined. While Fury talks endlessly about destiny and legacy, Joshua shows his hunger through action and preparation. Fury leans on narratives. Joshua leans on grit. For Smith, this fight is the unwritten chapter that could define an entire era, and Joshua stands right at the center of it. Interestingly, even Johnny Nelson hesitates when asked to pick a winner. That hesitation speaks volumes. Deep down, Nelson knows Joshua's technical strengths and fight-ending power could overwhelm Fury's awkward, unpredictable style. This split opinion mirrors the entire boxing world. Fans are divided because they understand how unpredictable this clash could be. That's exactly what fuels the fever-pitch anticipation surrounding it. Yet Joshua...
Fury, you put him and Anthony Joshua together, and I'd been asked before, who wins between us both? I said Anthony. Tyson offended or whatever, and then vice versa. Why would he give a shit what I think? You know, so what he thinks and what he believes. You know, coming through my career, so many people said you ain't going to do shit. I don't hate on him. I just think, all right, my success says it all. And so when you walk away from this game, you understand.
Joshua's clarity and cold, confident warnings suggest the momentum might be shifting in his direction. Tony Bellew digs deeper into the reality Joshua faces. He acknowledges the grueling training camps, brutal fights, and relentless public pressure Joshua has already endured. Diving straight into a Fury fight is a dangerous gamble, and Bellew admits as much. Still, he knows opportunities like this are once in a lifetime. Legacy-defining fights don't come around often, and for Joshua, this is the moment. Rest can wait, glory cannot. Bellew also voices a frustration many boxing fans share: Fury's habit of hyping fights only to back away when it matters most. Over the years, Fury has cried wolf, creating skepticism among fans and pundits alike. But Joshua's steady, focused march forward keeps hope alive. Then comes Spencer Brown, peeling back the curtain on what's really happening behind the scenes. Brown confirms that talks involving Turkey a lot.
It's one that, right now, I mean, he's just coming off a hard camp, a hard fight, and does he need it right now, immediately, when Tyson Fury says so? Probably not, but can he afford to knock back the opportunity? Probably not as well, so it's tough, really. I'm not so sure it actually does happen, and I'm not so sure it's someone, once again,
Ashik proved this isn't just hype or media noise. The fight is genuinely being negotiated. While Brown personally would have preferred a Fury versus Usyk rematch, even he can't deny the massive global demand for Fury versus Joshua. This isn't just another big fight. It's the fight, the clash that defines a generation. Saudi Arabia's involvement adds serious weight to the discussions. Where there's money, power, and global momentum, fights of this scale become impossible to ignore. For Joshua, it's validation that his star power remains unmatched. For Fury, it's a spotlight he can't hide from forever. This fight could reshape the heavyweight division forever. If Joshua defeats Fury, it's more than just a victory. It's redemption and eviction rolled into one. The landlord finally forcing out the so-called Gypsy King. It would silence every critic and prove that discipline...
Rounds. 10, 11, 12. It was scrappy, it was messy, and it was just kind of like winning the argument. But when you watch it and score it, gloves are hitting you. It was just busy, wasn't it? It was busy. But did you feel it was slipping away from you at the end? Or did you feel you was doing enough?
No, I felt like I'd done it. I felt like I was up before the bell had gone. 30 seconds.
Discipline and resilience conquer chaos. If Fury survives Joshua's storm and wins, it cements him as the ultimate survivor. A man who turned unpredictability into a weapon and ruled his era. But this fight is bigger than belts or rankings. It's about pride, power, and the right to be called the greatest heavyweight of this generation. One man fights with conviction, the other hides behind words. When the bell rings, words won't matter. Only fists will. So here's the question. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to deliver the knockout Britain has been craving, or will Tyson Fury shock the world one more time? Drop your predictions below, because this is the showdown boxing has been waiting for.